Hey, Tim Unkert here, and welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to install the latest version of Emacs, GNU Emacs, on a Chromebook. Okay, so let's pull up a terminal. So I've got GNOME terminal installed. Now, I could just type sudo apt install Emacs, and then it would go ahead and install Emacs. But that would give me version 26.1. What we're going to do today is install version 27.2. So I'm going to go to GNU Emacs, or I'm just going to search for GNU Emacs. And I'll pull this up. And we see GNU Linux. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, now you can see all we'd have to do is sudo apt get install, or just apt. I think a lot of the Linux are pushing to using just apt, but that works. But that's not going to be the way that's going to give us 27.2. That's going to give us 26.1. It gives it whatever is in your particular, or available via your particular package manager, depending on your Linux distribution. Now, I'm using this on a Chromebook. Chromebook comes with, when you turn on Linux, it installs Debian 10, okay, Debian Buster. So what I need to do is actually go to this nearby GNU mirror here, click here. And I'm going to have to pause this because this will take a little bit of time to download, especially with the internet connection. It seems to be going slow. And okay, here we go. And what I want to do is go down here to the 27.2 tar-gz. Okay, and I am going to click on that. And that's going to start downloading. I'm going to pause the video now while it downloads, and I'll come on back when it's done. Okay, so it's finished downloading. It says here show in folder, so I'm going to go do that. And that's going to, on a Chromebook, that just comes to your downloads folder. So what I'm going to do is copy this and go into my Linux and paste it into my Linux. And it's going to take a little bit of time, maybe a minute to paste over, maybe not. We'll see. And then once I'm in there, we'll go to the next step. Okay. And actually, while it's doing that, we can do a few other things, actually. So while it's doing that, we do need some prerequisites installed. So in my previous video, I showed you how to install Vim and compile it from a source to get the latest version of Vim on Debian 10. For that, I installed a few prerequisites. ncurses dev, I installed make, you need that, and I installed build essential, which is a compiler, you need that. So take a look at that video if you don't have that stuff. So that's prerequisite, but we need a few other things. So we also need to install GTK3. So I'm going to just type install GTK3 on Debian 10, and let's search that up, and we'll go here, I believe, to this page, and we go down here. We just need to find the name of the package. So this package, this binary is installed. You need the development package, so I'm going to just copy that. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and sudo apt install that package. Okay. And it says you want 119 megabytes of additional space will be used. Do you want to do that? Yes, I do. If you don't install this, it will still compile, but it won't look like your other Chrome apps. It'll look kind of old and dated. So I install this. So just keep that in mind. So it's not necessary that you have to have GTK3, but to get it to work, but it just looks nicer. Um, so it's going to go and install that. While it's doing that, I'm going to just pause the video and I'll come back. Okay, so that has installed, as you can see here. Now what I'm going to do is install mail util. So I want to just search install mail utilis package. Let's see what comes up here. And this is on Ubuntu, which I think we can use the same command instead of apt-get. I'm going to do apt install y mail utils. So let's go ahead and do that. I think I can just do apt. Okay, so it's going to go and run and install that. And then we actually have to install a few other things. And the next thing I'm going to go to is a Stack Overflow answer, because when I went and I configured it the first time, it says, hey, you're missing some libraries. So I searched and came up with an answer, and it worked. So I'll go through that step next. And I'll include a link to this in the description below, as well as the video on installing Vim, so that you can find all this stuff fairly easily. So okay, so it's almost there. And okay, all right. So now you also want to install this stuff. So I'm going to copy that. And again, I'll include a link to that and then paste that in. And you'll say yes. Okay, it's going to go ahead and install. Now, with the mail utils, it would run. It just, if you want to use the email with Emacs 27.2, you probably should do it. That's what it was telling me. So I don't use the mail through that, but I went through and just installed it anyways, just because it was a recommendation. Okay. All right. So we've got those installed. Let's take a look here. We've got that list there. So if we just searched building Emacs from source, you'll see this Emacs wiki come up, and you'll see this 7.1, how do I install Emacs? So it just explains how you would unpack this. So you're going to use this command tar and then a space -zxvf if you don't know how to unpack the tar.gz file in Linux. So paste that in. Whoops, I should probably copy it. That was our previous thing we were doing. Okay, so I want to copy that and then paste. And then I want to, after that, I'll just copy this and then paste it. And then we'll run that command, and it's going to put all this stuff in a folder called Emacs 27.2. So it's just going to run real quick and do that. And then if I list out what I have in my directory, I see I have this folder, Emacs 27.2. So I'm going to change into Emacs 27.2. And I'm going to do / and then type configure and run that. Okay. This will take a minute or two. I'm going to pause while it does this. Okay, so it's run through that, and we're still in the folder. We just want to run make now. So I'm just going to type make and hit enter, and it's going to go do that, and it's going to go take another little bit. So I'm going to pause again. Okay, so now it's done that, and then the final command to install it is going to require that I use sudo in front. So I'm going to type sudo, then make install, and hit enter. Okay, and that's going to go ahead and install it. And then in a moment, what we'll do is we will start it up and then get a little base configuration for it. So it's going to run through all this stuff, and we'll see how long it takes. It'll take a little bit longer than it does with Vim. Vim is pretty fast. Emacs is a little bit bigger program, so it may take a little bit longer. And then I am going to set it up with a theme called Dracula, and then maybe I'll include a theme called Dracula because this is September, so go through September, and then into October we have Halloween coming up. So naturally, you would need to code in either Dracula or Dracula. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is cd out of this, so cd space ... and that'll move me up a directory. Okay, and I'm just going to type Emacs, and that's going to fire up the GUI version. Okay, and you'll see we get the nice GUI version here. If you're on a Chromebook and you're going to use this a lot, you may want to pin it to your taskbar, which I just did. This is like looking pretty plain. Okay, no problem. So I'm going to hit Control X, Control C, and quit out of there. And when I fired it up the first time, it created a directory called .emacs.d. We're going to need to use that in a minute. If I typed ls-a, I could see that I have that. Okay. Now this Emacs-27.2 and the Emacs-27.2.tar.z file, I don't need either of those. So I'm going to type rm space -rf space, and then the name of the folder. So Emacs. I'm just going to copy it. So Control-Shift-C to copy, and then Control-Shift-V to paste. Leave another space and copy this because we can get rid of both of those. Okay. And Control-Shift-C, and then Control-Shift-V. All right, so we're going to remove those. We don't need those, but we do have this Emacs.d. We need to remember that. Okay, so next thing, what I'm going to do is I have a pre-configuration of this. I'll include a link in the description. So if I go up to GitHub here, and in my repository, I just type Emacs. You'll see I have emacs-init.el. And so I have a .emacs file. I'm going to click on that, click on the raw portion, and you'll see I have the stuff for Melpa here. And then we're going to have to delete this default font. That works on 26.1. It throws an error in 27.2, so just FYI. And we may get a warning too about package CL. There is something we can put in that, but honestly, I would have to look that up, and that just gets rid of the warning when it loads up. Okay, and then if you see down here, there's this theme IDE Dracula. We do have to put that in, or we're going to get an error. So I want to save this as, and go to my Linux files, and I'm just going to save it as emacs.txt for right now. It won't let me save it as a .dot file just yet. So I'm going to go back to my terminal, and all I'm going to do is type mv for move, and then ./emacs.txt, so that file, and then another space, // and then just Emacs. So we have this .emacs file. So Emacs will either look to the .emacs file, or in the .emacs.d file, it will look for an init.el file for your base configuration. I'm going to use the .emacs, hit enter. Okay, so I've done that. Now what I need to do is close this out, and I'm just going to search for that IDEA Dracula theme Emacs. It comes up because I've searched for it already. So this is an Emacs theme based on the IntelliJ IDEA Dracula theme. So that's it's based off the JetBrains themes. So if you want to kind of get it to look like that, it's a cool theme. So anyways, so I'm going to click raw, and then just save as. And it's going to, in the Linux files, I want to click show hidden files. Okay. And then I'm going to go in this folder .emacs.d. So I'm going to go into the folder, and I'm going to, inside this folder, I'm going to right click to create a new folder, and I'm going to call that themes. And then I'm going to go in here and just get rid of this .txt extension. So you just want the theme.el, and then I'm going to click save. Okay, and while we're in this folder, I'm going to go and maybe get some other themes. So let me close out a couple of these tabs here. For this previous stuff, we don't need any of this stuff anymore. And let's search for the Dracula Emacs theme, because again, it is Halloween. So the second link here, Dracula has themes for like almost everything. So I'm just going to go to the Dracula theme.el. This file, again, I'm going to go to the raw and then just do save as, and well, Dracula theme .el. We want to get rid of the .txt, and I'm going to click save. Okay, so now I've got that going. Okay, a couple other themes I like. The material Emacs theme, and then maybe I'll just stop there. But so we'll do the material Emacs theme, and I want to do material light and the regular material, because sometimes I like to put it in light mode, like especially if it's brighter in the room. Maybe today, it's a Friday, I might work in light mode. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to save this as, and we're going to do material light theme.el. So I'm going to click save. Okay, and then we want to go back here because we want to get the material dark one as well. Okay, and we'll go to material theme.el, click on the raw. Okay, and save as, and again, get rid of the .txt at the end, and then we'll save that. Okay, so we're good on themes. We got 4 different cool themes, good colored themes, and some of the other base themes aren't bad either. The default theme's a good light theme, and then they have a couple good dark themes as well, if that's what you prefer. Okay, so I'm going to go here, and what I want to do is I want to open the .emacs file, because I do have to delete that line. It's going to throw an error starting off. So I'm going to type Emacs and then .emacs. So after the file I want to open, we're going to get an error here. So you see this warning, an error occurred while loading, and I've got this screen to get I want to get rid of this error message because I know what it is. I'm just going to hit Control X1, and that's going to give me one window here. And I'm going to need to go down. I can do that with Control N. If I want to go down a lot of lines, I can do Control U, and then like, let's say I want to go down 30 lines, so then 30, Control N, and that'll get me down. But let's just go down. You can also use the arrow keys if you want. So right here on the Set Default Font, I'm going to mark this line. I'm going to do Control Space. That's going to start the mark. Then with Chromebook, what I can do is use this the search key and type that, and then the right arrow, and that's going to highlight the entire thing. Hit backspace, it's gone. Okay, I'm going to leave a space here because I do want to figure out how to alter the font. It's pretty good to start off, but I may want to set like a base font, and you can change it once you start. But anyway, so I'm going to hit Control X, Control S to save it, and then Control X, Control C to close it. I'm going to now run the same command. You'll see we won't get that error message. Okay, so it's going to pop up, and the way I have it set up is to go open up wide across the screen. Now I'm going to go down here a little bit and go to where the theme is, because remember I said maybe today I feel like I'm going to work in a lighter theme. Now I could just change it, but what I'm going to do is just put it in the file here. So I'm going to, instead of IDEA/Dracula, I'm going to just type material/light, and then there's a space and a T. Control X, Control S to save, Control X, Control C to quit, and let's run it again. And you should see that it comes up with this nice lighter theme, which I may be using today. So that's how you install the latest version of Emacs and build and compile it from source on a Chromebook with Debian 10 Linux installed. If you have any questions, leave comments in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for coming to my channel. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications, as it really helps the channel grow. And if you have done that already, thank you. I continue to encourage you to watch these videos. It really motivates me to keep making videos like this. And I hope you have a great day, and I hope I see you in the next one.